Question number 23, calculate the value of x and the value of y in the diagram. So if you look at the diagram, we have x over here and we have y over here. We have to calculate these values. Okay, so first of all, let's try to find out the value of x. If I look at x, x is an angle in an obtuse triangle, and I do not know right now how to solve the problems of an obtuse triangle. There is no formula for finding out the angle of an obtuse triangle, like trigonometric ratios and Pythagoras theorem. Okay, I have not learned any other formula. The only formula that I have to find out an angle in a triangle, that is angle sum of triangle. I can find out the value of x if I have this angle and I have this angle. If I know these two angles, I can add these two and subtract from 180 and have the value of x. But the problem is this, I do not know these two angles. So first of all, let's figure out whether we can find out these two angles or not. Let's call this as angle 1 and this is angle 2. If I look at the first angle, angle 1 is pretty easy to find out because this angle over here and this angle over here, they're lying on a straight line, so they add up to 180. If I subtract 46 from 180, I'll have that part of the angle. So the calculation of this angle is going to be 180 minus 46. 180 minus 46 is going to be 134. So maybe I can show this working over here. I'll calculate the first angle, 180 minus 46, which is going to be 134. After I've done the calculation, I'll mention the value over here. This is 134. Okay, I have this angle. Now I have to calculate angle 2. Angle 2. If I look at angle 2 is over here. In order to find out this angle, I'll need to consider the entire right angle triangle, means this. I'll consider the whole right angle triangle and I'll see that in this right angle triangle, I know the hypotenuse, I know the opposite. And now that I have opposite and hypotenuse, I'll be able to calculate the angle number 2 using one of the trigonometric ratio. The trigonometric ratio which connects opposite and hypotenuse is sine. So sine theta is equals to opposite, which is 6.9 upon hypotenuse, which is 13.2. First of all, I'll divide 6.9 with 13.2. This is 0.522. Sine theta is equals to 0.522. This is the sine of an angle. I am trying to find out the angle only. I'll remove this sine and take it to the other side. So theta will be equals to sine inverse of 0.522. I'll take the sine inverse of this. The angle is going to be 31.51. So this angle is going to be 31.5. So I'll mention this angle over here as well. I now have this angle which is 31.5. Remember why we were calculating these angles? We were calculating these angles so that we can find out the value of x. We know according to angle sum of triangle that the sum of three angles, which is 31.5 degrees plus 134 degrees plus x degree. The sum of three angles of any triangle is equals to 180 degrees. So in order to find out the value of x, I'll do 31.5 plus 134. This is going to be 165.5 degrees plus x is equals to 180. Now what I'll do, I'll remove this 165.5 from this side and move it to the other side. When it goes to the other side, it starts subtracting. So 180 minus 165.5. So the value of x is going to be 14.5 degrees. I've done the first part. Now we have to calculate the value of y. If you look at y is the length of a side of an obtuse triangle. Again, we'll not be able to calculate the value of y directly. What we need to do, we need to calculate this length and we need to calculate this length. After subtracting these two, I'll be left with the value of y. So first of all, let's consider the entire triangle. in which the opposite is 6.9 and the hypotenuse is 13.2 to find out the length of the whole triangle. And we can find out the length of the whole triangle using the Pythagoras theorem, according to which hypotenuse square is equals to base square. Let's call it base, and plus perpendicular or opposite square, which is 6.9 square. I can have the value of base square if I subtract 6.9 square from 13.2 square. So this will be 13.2 square minus 6.9 square, 126.63. This is base square. I'll take the square root, and the square root of 126.63 is going to be 11.25. So the length of the entire triangle, the larger triangle, is going to be 11.25. Now I'll find out this length. In order to find out this length, I'll consider the smaller right angle triangle. In the smaller right angle triangle, I have an angle and I have the opposite. I am trying to find out the adjacent. So I'll use trigonometric ratio, which is tangent. I'll say tangent 46 equals to opposite, which is 6.9 upon adjacent, which I'm trying to find out. Let's call it adjacent, tangent 46. In order to calculate the value of A, I'll move these two. A is equals to 6.9 divided by tangent 46. I'm dividing 6.9 with tangent 46. The value is going to be 6.66. So the length, the entire length from this point to that point is 11, and this length over here is only 6.6. In order to find out the value of y, what I'll be doing, I'll subtract 6.66 from 11.25. So I'll write 11.25 minus 6.66, and then I subtract these two. The value of y is going to be 4.58. I think this is in meters. Okay, nothing is mentioned, whether it's meter or centimeter or millimeter. So instead of writing meter, what I'll write 4.58 unit. That's it.